Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we're in Update 8 Experimental. Which means we now have access to Lumen, if we want everything to look exceptionally pretty. Then the game has new unlocks, like the new priority power switch, and the expanded power infrastructure power towers. And of course there are like a million other things that are in the game that are new and interesting. But I already kind of covered them all in the Everything New in Update 8 video. So if you haven't checked that one out, please be sure to do so, because we're gonna be kind of working from there. And our goal today is we want to automate liquid biofuel and turbo fuel so we can put it in our jetpack. So we are gonna be running around with the chainsaw collecting organic material so we can actually do so. But before we do that, let's launch ourselves in the hypertube with a chainsaw in hand, because of course, and save the world. Oh god though, loading is very spooky. I think we're doomed. Oh no. Water, save me. I'm out of jetpack fuel somehow. Yeah, experimental game mode, a little spooky, but it's fine. Luckily it's gonna be an update soon.tm that's gonna be fixing the world loading that's going on here. As for our emergency, this whole old factory here is about to catastrophically shut down, and it makes the mission critical parts for our nuclear fuel rod production. So if this goes down, we're doomed. And what's the problem here? Well, apparently items loading on belts is one of them. I think the items are actually there, yes? Yes, the items are real. However, don't believe their lies. Like, why is this a limestone belt when it's coming from a copper node? Why has this transformed? But wait, has it? What the heck? But it's copper. Okay, I don't know why this bug happened, but at any rate, apparently there is a quick fix for it. You just, what? Delete the ore mining machine from it, clear off the caterium, which is there, and just replace the machine. So that now goes back to there. Power back on, please. And now it's copper. So luckily I waited a long time before upgrading to Update 8 here. And this issue was very well known, so luckily we could catch it very, very quickly. However, now we have to clean up this limestone, as it is now destroyed a lot of my factory, I'm sure. By the way, a lot of you are probably wondering, Kibs, why didn't you upgrade to Update 8 Experimental earlier? And that is because I was waiting for mods. I use 3 pretty mission critical mods for my YouTube videos here. One is permaday, so when I'm recording, it's not a freaking day-night disco. I have permanent day using the Sky UI mod. And then I have another mod called Pack Utilities, which lets me get all those fun camera angles. And like most people are familiar with, I also have the bigger inventory mod, which allows the inventory to be massive. And that's it. Those are the only mods I use. And you can get them by downloading the Satisfactory mod loader, but that is something you can do on your own time. All right, now we still have our emergency here. I tracked the limestone line to one of these two, but then everything got complicated, so I don't know what's going on. Thus, we're gonna drain them both into a bin, and eventually one will turn into a copper line, and then we can assess the damage. Ah, and so you were the corrupted one, weren't you? Okay. Well, let's see where the damage went. So over to this line, over to here, through a few refineries, and wait, that's it? Just a handful of refineries? Wow, we really got lucky here. This could have been a turbo disaster. But no, just like 5 refineries. So easy fix. Just took that up to a bin, let it clip for now, and then we have to destroy, or at least drain, the splitters here as well. As you can see, they have a bit of an internal storage buffer. Now I should have just left them for 5 seconds so they could actually drain the line, but here we are now, getting rid of them. Oh no, that's not good. We will figure out where that one goes un momento. First, you to the pit, please. So at least we can get all of this fixed. There we go. And then let's see what's going on with that other belt here. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, again, it's like another 4 machines. What the heck? Not a problem at all. We're just straight up making copper ingots. Wowee, okay. That's not a big fix at all, bud. Easy, in fact. And since we have a little bit more room here, We'll drain the lines like this. Redelete this line because there is one limestone on it. You can see it. And that is that. Everything is fixed and fully operational once more. And we can move on to emergency number 2. Oh yeah, and aside from making liquid and packaged turbo fuel and biofuel today, we also want to redo like the entirety of the outside of this factory. It looks hideous. But first, the other emergency. That's over at the aluminum build here, where it is completely shut down, sadly. Oh, and also, third emergency. I haven't thrown a nuke at these things yet. One of the best parts of this update is that stinky rocks go bye-bye. Ah, satisfying. All right, another actual real emergency though, is that this aluminum factory makes batteries which power all the drones that power our nuclear power plant. And you might notice something's missing here. All of the nitrogen gas that we need to make aluminum. Oh, wait a second, is this still working? Huh? It says it's extracting, and the pipes have nitrogen. What is going on here? Is this actually extracting nitrogen even though the node has moved? It looks like it. Oh, well that's convenient, yeah. Because this node isn't here anymore, but it's still working for whatever reason. That's good. But we're still gonna move everything because that looks ridiculous now. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to set that all up over here, because this is where they moved all the nitrogen gas, which honestly, I kind of prefer. Like you'll see it more so in new saves, but I think the nitrogen would look a lot better in this area instead of just out in that random sand pit. And also putting it down here won't be a big problem, except I don't have any cased industrial beams? But wait, I do. I always have. Isn't that right, Mr. Bean? Past Kib's planned for this moment eons ago with the wall bin. Why is there a bin in this wall, you might ask? As Kibs knew he would need all of the encased industrial beams in the world. Is that actually why? I don't know why that's there. But I found it on a live stream and I was like, wow, that's the best. That's definitely gonna come in handy one day. And today's the day. All right, this shouldn't be too big of a problem though. All we have to do is put this down here. Oh, but wait a second, I can't. Because let me guess. The game thinks there's already a pressure well there because this one is in place and there's some weird coding going on. So we can't put a new well on the well that already has this well. Well, that's a problem. That means we're gonna have to shut down nitrogen production for a time while we get these repairs underway. So if that's the case then, we are going to store up as much nitrogen as we can so that while we are making these adjustments, all of our battery production doesn't just immediately shut down. Just set up a couple of these bad boys over here, then yoink some excess nitrogen from our existing pipelines and plug them in. Creatures in the way. Beam! Don't make me. There you go, Mr. Bean. It's only because I didn't want to irradiate my factory. Back to what we're doing here. Emergency supplies now are set up. Now super quickly we'll get everything else in place. So that's once everything has been moved over to the new location and we want to reset up. We're not gonna run into any super massive problems. So put this down here. Connect up the power over there. And of course, make sure this thing is overclocked out the wazoo. Okay, do the thing. Ring, ring, hello? Working, sorta? What? What do you mean? Doing my best, but it's powered. Is this not working? Uh-oh, this is not good. I think my game's broken. Okay, and after trying that one more time, I think we are operational. Yes? Do we have the gas? Oh yeah, we got the gas, brother. And pipe-wise, I moved a bunch of stuff around just so it made it look a little bit more organized. And how are we doing here? Good, good. These didn't at least look like they drained out. So I don't think we ran out of gas. Yeah, aside from that game crash there, I had everything lined up kind of like this and organized in this way so it looked kind of proper. And then I moved everything very, very quickly just by breaking down this wall, deleting what I needed to, and then scooting it over to Dodge. So yeah, I don't think any system was down for more than 5 minutes. And even better, I looked upstairs and it turns out we don't even need this much gas per minute. So I don't think there's a major threat to our nuclear power plant. But because I am a little paranoid, we're just gonna check on a couple of things here. Namely, our battery supplies. Do we have them? Oh yeah, box battery exports, so that goes to the nuclear pasta. That's irrelevant. We have the frames, okay. Which one of these was for nuclear? Please. There we go. Base batteries, that one matters the least. This has to be nuclear. And okay, transfer rate is looking great. Batteries out the wazoo. Everything is fine. And there are no problems at all. So you know what? Let's cause some trouble ourselves. Let's unlock the new priority power switch and start messing around with some cables. Because this thing is horrifically dangerous, at least to the point we're at, but is super, super good. So again, if you haven't watched the Everything New in Update 8 video, quick TLDR of this thing, but it allows us to put certain power grids on a higher or lower priority. So, for example here, you build it, you name the switch or circuit, and then in the circuit breaker priority, you put it wherever you want. So say your power grid is failing, you're not making enough power. Well, then something in group 8 will shut down first, then group 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seems to make sense? Yes? Okay. Because now I'm gonna go around the entire world finding and destroying main power switches and replacing them. So this whole contraption that I've had forever now was meant to do what this priority power switch does. Like if we're running out of power on the main breaker, I would be able to shut down either parts of my factory here or other factories from this location. I realized though that would be way too many cables and power lines running all over the place, so I kind of abandoned this project. But now we have a machine that does everything for us. So main breaker, you are looking healthy, looking good. Well, goodbye. Oh, that's always a horrific noise, but it should be fine. The nuclear power plant is running. Like this, it's okay. Just rebuild it. Connect A to B and that to somewhere. Right there. And then we can just re-flip the lever and... Okay, that's not good. What if we try it again? Oh God. What do you mean? This is working now, right? Ooh, we're good? Why didn't it work before? Why did it scare me? I don't know. Would seem that there is definitely no problem here though, right? Right. And our first thing is done. So this is base grid. This is our place where we have our storage room and all that kind of jazz. And it is very important. It is priority group 2 important. Because if we run out of power, we still kind of need our storage room and more importantly, our main method of travel still online, or we are screwed. However, we do also need things in priority switch 1. So let's go over to our power plants and set those up. And first on the docket is our first power plant, the fuel power plant, which we got started right in the beginning of our playthrough so we could get nuclear online. And we have a nice, convenient control tower here, controlling all the other aspects. But I think we want world power. So that connects, whoa, jeez Louise, what's going on? Help! Yeah, that connects to our train track, which goes around the rest of the world. So yes, that's kind of like our main grid. And that connects up to there, okay, goodbye. No major grid shut off, sounds good. Or sounds like nothing, which I guess is good. And then we just do the same thing that we did with our main base to here. We're gonna call this fuel power, turn it back on. And of course, this is a power plant, so nothing should break. And that is absolutely in priority group 1. If things are running out of power, it's gonna be like our base and like whatever have you beforehand. Priority 1 is always going to be your power source. But man, look at the blip that the fuel power is compared to everything else. Like, it's important, but most of the power, for sure, is in our nuclear power plant, which we should probably switch up next. And if things are gonna go wrong, it's gonna be right here, right now, when we switch up the main power switch in here. What could go wrong? I don't know. It should be fine. And if not, well, we have like a handful of batteries. I don't know. Hindsight, maybe you should make like a giant battery backup thing somewhere, but we're here now. And what do we have to change? Backup plutonium, fuel rod, main grid. You have to get rid of this. This one lever controls practically all the power in our entire world, and we're turning it off. What happens? We have like 4 minutes of battery power. Okay, well that's great, yeah. All the time we actually need right now, but in case of emergency, well, we're clearly pretty screwed. Anyway, enough banter. Let's get this reconnected, please. Just have things connected down here, and then up to there. Immediately, we want to switch this back on. Thank you. Batteries are recharging, and emergency thwarted. We did it! And now we can name this nuclear power. Go to the circuit breaker. Put this priority super 1. Can we put it even above? Nope, whatever. It's in priority group 1, and we are good to go. Everything's still moving, everything's still grooving. Yes, good. Is that pipe actually connected? It is. There's just some shenanigans going on, whatever. Which means we are free to move on to everywhere else in our world. So, main plastic plant is now on the grid. Yes, good. And since the plastic is used in production of our nuclear fuel rods and other nuclear power assets, that is priority group 3. Yeah, at least I feel like it should be, because we definitely want the actual nuclear fuel rod component production on priority 2. Oh, Mr. Pastkib's made a little control tower here. Oh, it's so cute. And it doesn't even have a hypertube upstairs. Great. So going up to its very basic control tower, what do we got here? Mid-factory, top factory, bunch of stuff. Main switch, okay. You, goodbye. Power grid broken. Oh man, game's kind of freaky right now, but it should be okay. Let's get the lights back on here. Like, immediately? Oh god, this again. Why? Why does this happen? Just work. Why does that work? I don't get it. It's fine, everything's back on. Don't need to worry about anything. We checked on this, it's all good. The nuclear fuel rod grid has been made, and it is absolutely in priority 2. And after traveling all around the world, our grid system is made. So of course, I reorganized the priority group 1, so nuclear grid is on top. Priority group 2, we have the aluminum base grid and the nuclear fuel rod grid there. Priority 3 is the plastic and rubber grids, because those two components are mission critical in making like everything else. And then priority group 4 is the nuclear pasta and assembly director system grid. Because even though making space elevator parts is the reason for being on this planet, all operations fail if we don't have any power to do things. And with the mission criticals out of the way, let's start making some liquid biofuel and turbo fuel so we can feed our jetpack. In Update 8, you're able to use solid biofuel, turbo fuel, and liquid biofuel to fuel it, each with different properties. Solid biofuel, kinda is poopy, but you know, it's there. Packaged fuel is what we know and love. Packaged turbo fuel makes you go super fast. And liquid biofuel is kind of like packaged fuel, but lasts forever. So we really want both of these things. Good news is that guess what? Pastkib's left empty slots in his storage room so we can actually include the new items. So this bin and this bin are empty and they can both be for the fuels. Even better, we actually have a designated spot where we're making turbo fuel already, just over there. And of course, we're making turbo fuel because we want that turbo rifle ammo, my favorite ammo in the game because it's so aggressive. And all we have to do for it is we need to package it. So let's go and make ourselves a packager, and then we will start to run into the problems. Because getting the turbo fuel is only half the battle. to package it, we're gonna need some empty canisters. And that, well, I don't know about that one, Chief. I think we might have them being brought here, but I don't remember. It's been a long time since I built the weapons factory. So let's see. We have weapons, go figure. Parts, 4Z weapons, okay. Downstairs, wait! Why do I even have this here? Past Kibs, what were you doing? Where does it go? Through this wall? Why? Downstairs? For what? Be packaged as sulfuric acid? What do we use sulfuric acid for? Wait, we send it out of Dodge. And then we bring it off into our main base? But for what? Is it like a mission critical thing? No, it's to be packaged and stored here. Oh, wait a second, I remember now. We saved all of this in case we had a nuclear meltdown or something, and we can use the sulfuric acid over at our emergency nuclear waste processing facility. So long story short, all these empty canisters can be used for whatever the heck I want. Fantastic. Okay. Always gotta check on that kind of stuff in this world, because if I accidentally do something wrong to the nuclear power plant, there can be problems. Like the priority power switches, they help a lot, but I prefer we don't run into any more emergencies. I think we've ran into enough already. Now for the casters, all I have to do is sneak them all upstairs, and that is gonna be packaged turbo fuel done. So we will let this do its thing and package for as long as it wants here, and then future Kibs will figure out how to get that back to the storage room. Current Kibs is gonna figure out the liquid biofuel stuff, because that's actually primarily what I want. The turbo fuel, it's gonna be fun for like combat missions. Liquid biofuel is gonna be great for everything else. And we have a tiny amount of space right in here to put this all together. So we're gonna need a refinery squished in here and clipped a little bit into this infrastructure, but that's okay, because this can make the liquid biofuel somehow, somewhere, yes, there. So we need solid biofuel, i.e. the logs, and a little bit of water, okay? Water is just down there. I checked on that sulfuric acid setup, and it turns out we have like 600 water per minute down there, and we only need, I think, 120. So this thing can run fully overclocked whenever we need it, and we'll still have water to spare. Solid biofuel though, that's gonna be a little bit more tricky, because we have an area with organics in our main base. These bins off to our left kind of deal with all of them. So we put in like whatever I find, aside from flowers and mycelia, and everything gets sorted into the bins. But we need to process all those things into the bio stuff. So we're gonna need at least, what is this? 5 constructors, because with the alien parts, we can turn them into, oh, wait a second, no, we can't. We need to make protein first. So everything goes into these protein recipes. And with the alien protein, we can either make this DNA capsule for tickets, or we can turn it into biomass, which is what we actually want. Yeah, well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem, finding space for constructors around here. As for the other organics, we already have that kind of sorted. We have some constructors upstairs dealing with the leaves and the logs, and I'll probably get one set up for the mycelia as well. Don't know why I haven't done that. But yeah, for the other stuff, we're gonna have to find some space for constructors. Only thing I can think of is going down. So if we go down, well, haha, looks like we have some belts to move. Well, that's okay, this one's clipping, so move that out of the way. This then goes down here, to where? A light? Don't ding do. And down to a processing floor. Right on. Oh, but this is a good amount of space. Hold up, everything's about to work out. Yeah, what we can do is we can just set up an extra little floor like here, above all the belts. This is definitely room for like 5 constructors, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a little bit more spacing, and that can be 5, no problem. Okay, everything then comes down from the roof. goes into its own little constructor. And I guess we'll need 4 making the alien proteins. And then a 5th turning those proteins into biomass. And yeah, oh yeah, definitely a super simple concept. Beltwork-wise, oh, I don't think so. It was a disaster. Because I'd already organized all of like the proteins upstairs, but then I had to recombine everything onto another line, and then redistribute everything again with smart splitters into their appropriate machines. Main thing is, everything gets turned into one single item, the alien protein, moved down this belt, and then is actually split up. Half of it will become biomass for our liquid biofuel. The other half is going over to another constructor in the corner, where we're gonna be making alien capsule DNA. And this stuff is used for awesome ticket points. And I'm thinking like, I'll fill up like a bin, and then eventually forget about it, and then one day I'll be like, man, I wish I had like an extra 1,000 points right now. Find this bin and be like, oh wow, an extra 1,000 points, and be super happy. Cause you know, it's just Mr. Kibs looking out for future Kibs, the classics like that. Okay, main thing, all this stuff, it's done. Biofuel should be good to go now because all we have to do is redirect the main biomass line from our base area here over to the weapons factory, which has actually already been done because we're making gas nobelisks and those need biomass. So up until this point, this belt here would be full of biomass, combined with the nobelisks, and off we go, gas nobelisks. Now, I never use these things, but eventually they'll fill up, right? So I just set up a splitter to send half the biomass here and then half the biomass to that refinery we set up just a second ago, which is now making the liquid biofuel. Oh yeah, I set up a constructor just downstairs because these towers that are all over the place kind of have like a lot of empty space. So I was like, oh hey, wherever I can find space, like above here or below here, I'll just set up a constructor. I think in this instance, we set up the constructor for the logs down here. Yeah, so now we're making the biofuel logs, which get liquefied. Tasty, tasty. And after that, everything goes to a fluid buffer where we store a bunch of gas, and then of course to a packager, which makes the packaged liquid biofuel. And after a very annoying time of belt work in this horrific zoo, I got the biofuels and stuff into our storage room, and we can grab as much as we ever desire now. At least until liquid biofuel runs out, but it'll be fine. It lasts forever. Like look, started using it here, still using it, still using it, still using it. You're getting the picture. It lasts a long time. Again, versus the turbo fuel, it goes super fast, but it's now gone. So yeah, very good for like combat and exploring, but generally speaking, I am building factories. So you're going to want the long-lasting stuff. And speaking of factory building, let's get that expanded power infrastructure stuff finally, and get to actually creating something new here. So, bop, 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 hit the button. And now we have the new super power towers, which will be mission critical in redesigning this place. And FYI, the whole reason why this entire structure is so ugly is because it's one of the first things I built around here, and I was like, future Kibs, he'll make it look better eventually. And now it's been like 2 years, and now it's the time, okay? Look, we got to it. Yeah, these power towers are going to help so much. If you didn't know, they are exceptionally good at bringing power throughout your world. Now, usually I use train tracks because those are the best option before these, but now these can bring power far and wide. So I have all of these random like power poles throughout this area, and now all of them can be gone. And now everything is looking absolutely fantastic. Like the small power poles look goofy just around the world. These guys, oh heck yeah, bud. That's what I'm talking about. Now as for the rest of the build, well, we're just gonna boop it and see what happens. And now, is it a masterpiece? Well, not necessarily. At least now when I pass by and catch a glimpse of all this, I won't be in utter pain. And again, not to say like this whole thing is like a work of art. I will say though, that I am super, super proud of myself for finally building a proper power connection up to the drone port on top of the mountain. Because man, oh man, do these freaking power towers help significantly in cleaning it up, and then just adding in ladders and whatever puts the whole thing together. And with that, I think we are done for now. So I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching, but have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye. Oh, wait! Of course we're doing this. Okay, now that's it. Bye-bye.